Today, we're lining up the top-spec superbikes from Japan's Big Four for the ultimate 2025 showdown. The Kawasaki Ninja ZX-10RR, Yamaha R1M, Honda CBR1000RR Fireblade SP, and Suzuki GSX-R1000R. Let's see who takes the crown. The Fireblade comes out on top in the horsepower battle, putting out 217 horses at the crank. The R1M and Ninja both make 200 horses, while the GSX-R, with its recent update, sits lower at 195 horses. One of the blade's advantages comes from its high-revving engine, revving higher than the rest. Torque, on the other hand, is almost neck and neck. The blade and R1M both make 113 Nm. The Ninja comes close with 111, and the GSX-R once again sits at the bottom with 110. When it comes to weight, the blade scores another win at just 201 kilos. The GSX-R is 2 kilos heavier, the R1M adds another 2 on top of that, and the Ninja is the heaviest of the bunch. So when you factor in power to weight, the Fireblade stands out as the only bike in this group with a better than 1-to-1 power to weight ratio. The R1M comes next, with the Ninja and GSX-R right behind. But honestly, unless you're Rossi or Marquez, you're not really going to feel those tiny differences out on the road. All four run inline-4 engines, but the R1M is a little different. Instead of the usual flat-plane crank, it uses a cross-plane crank with a 90-degree offset instead of 180. That gives it a power band and even a sound more like a V4. Displacement-wise, they're all 1 liters, though the Fireblade goes with a more extreme over-square layout, bigger bore, shorter stroke, which lets it rev higher than the rest. 4-valve train, they all use double overhead cams with 4 valves per cylinder, and power gets sent to the rear wheel through a 6-speed box with a slip-in assist clutch. As track-focused, performance-oriented superbikes, each brand has its own trick to stand out and squeeze out every bit of performance. The GSX-R gets Suzuki's centrifugal variable valve timing system that adjusts intake timing as the revs climb, giving it a broader power band. The Fireblade takes a different route with its semi-cam gear train. By shortening and lightening the cam chain, the engine becomes more compact, more durable, and able to rev higher. The R1's cross-plane crank, with its uneven firing order, reduces inertial torque and adds tiny rest moments between power pulses. That translates into steadier power delivery, less chance of the rear wheel breaking traction, and more direct feedback through the throttle. And then there's the ZX-10RR, built with more race-ready hardware, like Pankel titanium conrods and pistons, plus DLC-coated pins that helps it rev faster. And if you go for the optional KRT racing ECU and wiring harness, you can even raise the rev limit by another 500 RPM. Out of all four, the GSX-R comes in cheapest, and its electronics package is also the most bare bones. You do get ABS, an IMU, ride-by-wire throttle, traction control, riding modes, launch control, and a quick shifter. But wheelie control is tied into traction control, and there's no slide control, no engine brake management, no cruise control, and no keyless start. The dash is still an old-school LCD with no multimedia. For 2026, though, Suzuki threw in a lightweight lithium battery. Step up to the Ninja and you get a bit more. Everything the GSX-R has, plus engine brake control, cruise control, and a full-color TFT dash with multimedia support. No lithium battery here, though. At the top, the R1M and Fireblade are pretty evenly matched. Both come loaded with advanced rider aids across the board. The Blade throws in a keyless system and lithium battery, while the R1M swaps those for a GPS data logger as standard. All four are built around aluminum perimeter frames. As for suspension, up front the Fireblade and R1M both use Öhlins semi-active suspension, which adjusts damping on the fly in real time, while the Ninja and GSX-R go with more budget-friendly non-electronic, show-a-balance-free forks. It's the same story out back. The Blade and R1M are fitted with Öhlins semi-active TTX 36 shocks, while the Ninja and GSX-R use show-a-balance-free rear cushion shocks. And when it comes to brakes, the Blade gets Brembo Stylema, calipers. The Ninja fitted with M50, the GSX-R gets M4, and Yamaha went with Advix for the R1M. When it comes to wheels, the Blade and GSX-R both roll on cast aluminum wheels. The Ninja steps it up with forged aluminum Marcassinis, and the R1M comes fitted with lightweight magnesium wheels. Up front, all four bikes run the same tire size, but the Blade and R1M get a slightly wider tire at the back. The R1M is the most compact of the bunch with the shortest wheelbase, while the Blade stretches out the longest. Seat height is pretty similar across the board, though the R1M does sit a little taller. And when it comes to fuel, all of them carry around 16 to 17 liters. As for price, the ZX-10RR is the most expensive at $30,500. The Fireblade SP comes in second at $29,000, and the R1M is a bit cheaper at $27,700. As for the GSX-R, the 2026 price hasn't been announced yet, but since last year it was $19,000 and the updates this year aren't that major, it'll likely stay in a similar range. On paper, the Blade comes out on top. It's the most powerful, packing the highest horsepower, solid torque, the lightest weight, and it's the only one here with more than a 1-to-1 power-to-weight ratio. On top of that, it's loaded with fancy bits like titanium rods, forged pistons, and DLC, or diamond, like carbon-coated cam lobes, that help it rev quicker. It also comes fitted with Öhlins electronic suspension, titanium Akrapovic exhaust, and top-spec Brembo Stylema, calipers. Now, if you're bored of the typical inline 4 and want something different, that's where the R1M comes in. Priced not far from the Blade, it also gets lightweight titanium rods and forged pistons, but the main attraction is that cross-blade crank. It's got a unique growl, almost like a V4, and Yamaha claims it delivers smoother, more manageable power delivery. The electronics are right up there with the Fireblade, plus you get magnesium wheels and Öhlins electronic suspension as well. If you're after something even more track-focused, then there's the ZX-10RR. It's the priciest of the bunch and a limited production model. Like the Blade, it comes with titanium rods and forged pistons, but these are supplied by Pankel. It also runs one less piston ring, enabling a shorter piston height and helping to prevent mechanical loss due to friction, though you might trade off a little durability. Add in diamond-like carbon-coated piston pins, a special exclusive camshaft for the RR model tune for high RPMs, and Marcassini forged aluminum wheels, and you start to see where the extra money goes. And finally, the GSX-R. If you want something simpler and easier on the wallet, this is it. It doesn't bring the state-of-the-art rider aids like the others, not even a TFT dash, let alone electronic suspension or fancy internals like titanium rods. But it does come with variable valve timing to help spread the power more evenly. And at $20,000, around 10 grand cheaper than the rest, it's hard to complain. So, what's your pick? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell.